What's going on, guys? It's Ocean RDC here with Redline Gaming. We just got back from the Greenville, South Carolina regional, where myself and Brian Mitchell, in the last video that you saw, got our invites. This was my second invite of the season. It was Brian's first, and I wanted to show you guys the deck that I was playing, the little text, the whatnot, and just talk about the deck itself in general. I finished X2-1, narrowly snuck in at 19th, my round 8. If I had won that one, I would have finished 5th, and it would have been my first top 8. But you know, things don't work out always the way you plan them. So on to the next one. Duluth is next week, so I'm going to try and get it there. But let's talk about the deck. The deck was Salamangreat, and let's get into the profile. So first, this is obvious, triple Gazelle. We got your triple Spinny. I've seen lists at 2, but I prefer to have 3 to make sure that I have it engraved. Double Foxy is the next one. I've seen triple. I prefer this just because I don't like to be so heavily reliant on effects that can whiff. So I just keep it at 2. And then your one-ofs for Salamangreat, you got the Falco, you got your Fowl, and you got your Jaguar. Not really much to talk about. With that is the one-ofs that you mandatory play. Onto the non-Salamangreat cards, you play the one Lady Debug because we can only play one. I've had mixed feelings about this card ever since it went to 1. So either I'm gonna play it or I'm not. I've seen in a lot of my hands, I'm either having to choose between this and Foxy, and more often than not, I go with Foxy because Foxy more guarantees that I get through my entire combo. Sometimes when Lady Debug gets hit or gets ogred, I'm stuck, not able to play. For the hand traps, I think we play 8 in total. 6 of them are monsters. I got your double Ash, you got your double Ogre, and you got your double Veiler. I put it like this because I wanted a little bit more diversity when I'm opening hand traps. I hate having to open double of certain hand trap or double of certain hand traps when I have a third one in the deck. So I wanted to minimize that risk. So I had them all at 2s. And it just worked out great for me. Ogre was the MVP today, especially because we had so many matchups with True Draco. And you know, hitting diagrams is just great. I had weird matchups like against Evil Eye that this came in clutch with. So I like this at 2 apiece. So that does it for the monsters. It's a 40 card deck in total. So we're going to the spells. Salamangreat spells, obviously. Triple, circle. No explanation there. And then your one-ofs, you have your Sanctuary and your Fusion of Fire. I've seen lists cut the Fusion of Fire, but I really want to have it on my opponent's, for my opponent's turn when I either detach for Dweller and then summon the Gazelle to dump the Fusion of Fire to bluff a strong play for the following turn. So if they don't have an answer, they already just mentally scoop for themselves because they know what's coming. Then we got the triple Signet Mining. I'll admit, I was not a big fan of this card when it came out. I thought it was overhyped. I wouldn't say my idea, like my mentality behind it is completely changed, but I definitely saw how well it did against matchups where my opponent didn't draw any hand traps or I just had free range. It just does so much for adding Gazelle and triggering off. It's insane. It enables so much in the deck and allowed me to just make so much more than I used to without playing it.
Bro, how can you not like it? It's a green Lady Debug.
Yeah, essentially. Continuing the spells, we got Triple Twin Twister. I had to main these. We got, the Mystic Mine coming up, out of nowhere, and then we have True Draco playing. It's becoming more back row reliant, and you have to play these. And it's, to me, the same case applies. This discard potentially could discard a Salamangreat card. So you can trigger your Gazelle if you have it in hand, or just you set up your board like that. So I had to main it. Last of the spells is Triple Call by the Grave. This one for me was a little underwhelming, kind of for the same reason that people were more back row reliant. So there weren't a lot of threatening cards in the graveyard, and I did not play any Orcus. I did not play any Sky Striker. So it was a very weird regional. The main things I played double Salamangreat, double True Draco, and then just weird things for the rest of the day. I would, with more testing, I'll see if I want to cut this and put this in the sideboard. But I will say that any time I opened it for game 1, it immediately came out. So yeah. Onto the traps. The last of the hand traps, double impermanence. Didn't want to play 3. I just rather have it at 2, keep it at 8 hand traps in total. It's a little less. I prefer to have Phantasmias in there too, but I think that ratio worked out pretty well for this weekend. Salamangreat traps, obviously the 1 rage, 1 roar. I've seen people cut this, but I do like having 1 and 1 each. Because these are just some of the best cards. Rage had won me so many games definitively this weekend, so I've changed my perspective on this card more than any other card in this deck. This is just the absolute nuts when you resolve this for their setup and they can't continue playing. So I would heavily recommend playing Rage. For the last 4 traps, I think it's 8 traps in total for this deck, which is a little more than I originally planned. 1 Imperial Order, intended for the Sky Striker matchup, but it could really be for anything. It can be for just any like setting up an Orchist, just anything really in general. I mean, even Salamangreat, if you just don't like the matchup, it works and it boards out easily. 1 Solemn Judgment, Omni Negate, just really can't say anything about that. And the last 2 cards, which were the text that I tried, and I really can't say anything else about this, is Crackdown. Crackdown was... I really can't even say anything about this card because I didn't really get to resolve it the way I wanted to this weekend. I didn't see it that much. But the times that I did resolve it, it did throw my opponent off. That I flipped Crackdown and Salamangreat. There have been a couple of lists already that play this in here, but I had to try it for myself. And I gotta say, it is a card, not just in the deck. It is a card. Is insanely. It shifts. It shifts the momentum of the game so drastically when timed correctly. When my opponents just don't see it out anywhere. And I enjoyed it. I'm going to continue testing it because, again, this weekend I didn't really get a chance to resolve it as much as I wanted to. But I mean, hell, I played it today and it was the list. So, woo.
How many cards?
It's 40 in the main. Excuse me. So we'll quickly go through the extra. It's pretty self-explanatory. Triple Balinks, triple Sunlight Wolf. I don't know if you can see there. Double Heat Leo, that's what you do, and Mirage Stalio and Violet Chimera. And then for the non-Salamangreat, Hida, beautiful in the mirror. I won my Salamangreat matchup with this, just resolving to grab their Leo and just killing him for the last.
As a Pendulum player, fuck that card. Just letting you know.
Probably. Oh yeah, the Ignister is so beautiful.
Ignister, my Lechemite, you take everything.
Phoenix as another fire Link Monster. Borload. I chose Borload over Borlsword just because I'd rather slash my opponent's monsters than like quote-unquote OTK them, and it sounds stupid, but there's reason behind it. Dweller for the mirror, and then Starving Venom for the Super Poly that's in my sideboard. I really don't like Orcus, so that's why it's in there. And it, like I said, onto the sideboard. It was pretty, I don't know how to call it, it's just standard. Triple evenly matched, triple anti-spell, triple Lancia, double Pankratops, double Gameciel, and the one of Super Poly and Pero. Pero won me. It helped me draw out one game, and then I won my round 7, which essentially clinched my 19th place. So this card has earned an eternal spot in my sideboard. It's just beautiful. But essentially, that's the whole deck, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully, I can bring you guys more videos like this soon. So, Ocean with Redline Gaming. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.